Ladies and mostly gentlemen, today we're going to take a look at a pretty short but pretty important questline in the Shadowlands story, and that is the post-intro questline. But before we get into all of that, I just want to thank the sponsor of this video, and that is my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to check me out streaming the Shadowlands Alpha every single day, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM. Right, so this is the questline that happens literally the moment you finish the intro scenario. If you want to see the intro scenario, I do have a video on the channel if you want to check that out. But yeah, this quest was kind of, yeah, it's pretty awesome. There are some characters that we've been waiting to see and speak to, and some cutscenes as well. Not a lot of dialogue, unfortunately, but I'll try and read it best I can. There is some weird and wonderful names in here, so apologies if I do mispronounce anything wrong, because, you know, it's kind of crazy. Okay, so kind of a TLDR, we've just left the Moor through this kind of waystone, and we've arrived in Oribos, which is obviously the main city of the Shadowlands, and we got this quest called Stranger in an Even Stranger Land, and it says, find your way inside Oribos to learn what is happening. And it says, description, you arrive alone at the precipice of a strange city, knowing the leaders of Azeroth remained trapped in the Moor. Wherever you are, it's clearly very, very far from home, and it appears your arrival has been noticed. So essentially these guards are kind of standing here, they're like, okay, what the heck's going on? There's a tiny little purple gnome here, what is this? So it says try to communicate, so we're going to go speak to the attendant protector. And it says, where am I? Have I escaped the Moor?
We must bring them to the overseers at once.
So it says, come with us, stranger. So obviously, if you don't know, the Moor is a unescapable area, and we have escaped from the Moor because, you know, we are the player character. And yeah, we're just going to run over here, and you can see this new quest marker as well, which is kind of neat. But yeah, we're just following these dudes who are kind of the guards of Oribos to meet some friends of the Arbiter. Okay, so it says the reports of our scribes were unmistakable. The Moor shuddered for a moment, as if reacting to some change. An ill omen.
Overseers. This stranger appeared at the city's edge. I believe them to be a living mortal.
Alright, so I think that's pretty much it for the voice acting. So it says, our thanks, Protector. We shall take it from here. Alright, so we speak to the Overseer. So it says, are you in charge here? Where am I? It says, could it be an actual mortal being in the Eternal City? The purpose be served. Alright, so we've got no place for the living. A living mortal. Incredible. Forgive my astonishment. I am Cad Delen, an overseer of the Arbiter's attendants here in the Eternal City of Oribos. You stand within the heart of the Shadowlands. While we are accustomed to receiving souls from all manner of worlds within the mortal realm, never before has one arrived that is so corporeal. Answer honestly, mortal. Did you truly escape the Moor? So it says, the Overseers want to know more about how you escaped the Moor, so let's do that. So it says, speak to the Overseer. So, if this is not the Moor, then yes, it seems I did escape the Moor. Yeah, obviously. So he says, every attendant in Oribos is taught that the Moor is unbreachable, that the malevolent souls within were sealed away for all eternity. This mortal's escape might mean the prison is weakening. If true, the Dark One could... And then, Tal Inara, God, these names... arrived and says, purpose be praised, at long last the Arbiter has stirred. Wondrous news, voice. Mere moments ago there was a disturbance in the boundary of the Moor. Then this mortal appeared, claiming to have broken free from it. A living mortal? Surely their presence here serves a purpose. If the Arbiter reacted to their arrival, perhaps they are the key to awakening her. Is this mortal worthy of such an audience? They may prove to be an agent of the Jailer. It is the place of the Arbiter to judge souls, Kalsar, not ours. With her voice I have spoken. And he says, blessed be her voice. So we have to speak to this guy now, the honored voice. And it says, finally, the purpose may be guiding us again. Alright, so we have an audience with the Arbiter. He says, I am Tal Inara, the voice of the Arbiter. I speak for her who is ever silent. The Arbiter watches over Oribos. She blesses us with her wisdom. Every mortal soul that enters the Shadowlands passes before her judgment. In the merest fraction of a moment, she sees every glory, every folly, every joy, every regret. With this knowledge, she chooses an ideal afterlife for that soul. At least she did. Not long ago, catastrophe struck, and... Come, some things are better seen than explained. The voice of the Arbiter wishes you to join them in the Arbiter's chamber. Alright, so here we go. It says, I will join you. I pray the Arbiter will awake in your presence, mortal. And there she is. There she is, the Arbiter. Big. This area is absolutely amazing, by the way, with all the souls kind of swaying around and stuff, and she's just kind of chilling. She's not doing so well right now, obviously, with the anima drought and everything like that, so not too good for her, unfortunately, but let's see what he has to say. So let's ask about the Arbiter. So what is this place? She is unchanged, ever silent, ever still. When you arrived in Oribos, I saw the Arbiter stir for the first time in many cycles. It gave me hope that she would awaken and resume her blessed purpose. Mere words cannot describe the glory that was. Step forward, that I may show you. In-game cutscene plays here, shows you how Oribos used to work. Man, that's going to be such a good one. I can't wait for that. Without anima, drought has gripped the Shadowlands. The afterlives have grown isolated. Fear and uncertainty haunt us all. With countless souls feeding the jailer, I fear he may grow strong enough to break free from the maw. It is said he is filled with hatred for the Arbiter. If he strikes her down, it would bring the end to everything the first ones made. Return to the lower levels. The Overseers will prepare you for what is to come. So yeah, the jailer wants to kill the Arbiter? Oh my, okay, that's pretty intense. Alright, so let's return back down. And hand in the quest. We may find a shared cause in the purpose. It has sent you to us. Alright, tether to home. It is disappointing that you are unable to stir the Arbiter, but we must not give up hope. Your continuous presence may help us in our cause. No doubt you require some tether to the mortal realm. The console in this chamber was put in place a long time ago by the first ones, the wise architects of all to see. If you have a memento from your homeworld, place it there so the connection can be established. So it says affix the Helm of Domination fragment to your console. So if you didn't know, we are actually holding half of the Helm of Domination just in our pocket, kind of like Animal Crossing. So let's go and place the Helm of Domination and see what happens. Well, that was incredible. That was such a cool cutscene. Really enjoyed that. The way that Bolvar arrived kind of reminded me of Thanos arriving in Wakanda. I don't know if anyone else got that kind of vibe. But yeah, as you can see, Bolvar's now in Oribos. He's arrived with some of the Knights of the Ebon Blade, and along with some portal mages as well. So let's see what Bolvar has to say. So it says, you made it. What happened in the Maw? So the Bolvar didn't join us in the Maw, if you didn't know. So we get the quest, A Doorway Through the Veil. The fragment of the helm connected us while you were in the Maw. As if through a darkened plane of glass, I saw what you endured, the enemies you faced. At least we know the heroes of Azeroth yet live. We must find a way to save them from that nightmare. By fixing the helm here, you gave us enough to tether to Azeroth, to bring a few of us across the Veil. But you and your other heroes who join us will need a stronger connection. My knights brought mages through. Meet them outside to open a portal. They actually forgot to put the L on there. Establish the portals back to Azeroth. Alright, so let's speak to the portal mages.
Get on with it!
Come with me, let's head outside.
Suffer well!
Wow, NPCs that actually run a character's pace? Could it be? Could it actually be? So there is actually some dialogue happening in the bottom here. So Casher, I don't know how you pronounce that name. He said, you seek to open a doorway back to the realm of the living. Oh dear, Oribos is crowded enough with many brokers arriving every day. And then he says, and then one of the other overseers says, now, Casher, be hospitable. Mortal, I suggest establishing your portals when you arrive just outside the city. And Bolvar says, as you wish, please confirm where the mages should create the portals. Alright, so we've run out here, as you've just seen.
I will listen.
And this is where you should summon the portals.
I have opened countless portals in my lifetime, but never one that connected two planes of reality.
He said, I thought death was the end of existence. Here it seems death is a power that offers new beginnings. And there we go. So they've established some portals to Ogrima and Stormwood, as you can see. So we're going to head back over to Bolvar and see what the next part of this story is. Okay, so it says return to the Overseers. Your path and the purpose are now intertwined. Okay, the Eternal City. You should become familiar with the Eternal City and learn how you find your way around. We, the attendants, serve Oribos as its caretakers. The purpose guides us here. Everything you see here is in service of the purpose. Now, in this current chaos, things have changed. Now it seems Oribos is to serve the purpose in a different way. Others have come as well. Like you, the brokers are not of here. Visitors. They are also willing to aid you, usually for a price. It says, tour the Eternal City of Oribos. Alright, so it's basically just a kind of like a bit of a, what is it, Shatrath kind of vibes on this one. You just kind of run around the city. You're not following like a slow thing at all, though. You're kind of just kind of welcome to view the city. And if you want to see a full breakdown of the city, when it first came into the alpha, I do have a video about that. I'll link it down below. But it's a pretty cool city. It's pretty open, which is going to be nice. Obviously on the alpha is like super dead right now. So it's kind of sad to not see a ton of people around. But I think once we go into beta and whatnot, it's going to be awesome to see tons of people around this area. So yeah, so it's basically just like talking to a couple of these brokers that are very mysterious and a little bit suspect. But yeah, so if you essentially, yeah, so it's kind of just going around speaking to different people. As you can see, Oribos is a big circle, and annoyingly you can't mount everywhere. So you can mount kind of in these corridors, you can mount in the middle, but unfortunately you can't mount everywhere, which is kind of annoying. So I probably should have been like a druid or something like this, but what can you do? So if we head over here, this is actually where you're going to get your weekly chests. So this is the disappointed area. Alright, so we go to this guy, and it says, Greetings, Warwalker. This vault will grant you a boon that Oribos deemed appropriate for your endeavors in aid of the purpose. This will happen at a regular interval, as long as you are active in your aid. So essentially what he's saying is, yeah, he says, I believe you kind of refer to this nature as weekly. So yeah, it's essentially saying this is the weekly chest. And yeah, it's not going to be a chest just sitting on the top. It's actually this entire thing. It has a really cool animation, actually. So that's going to be awesome to see once that comes out. But yeah, if we head out here, we should be able to mount. Perfect, so let's just run around to these little areas. As I said, it's just a simple little quest trying to show you around Oribos and what's going on and whatnot. And as you see, you just kind of go to different people, as you can see. So this is the mount area, this is the barbershop as well. Welcome to the bazaar, my friend. We are here to serve. And then essentially, yeah, it's saying we've got more exotic offerings and stuff like that, weird store mounts and N'Zoth mounts and more store mounts. Kind of, I don't know, I really hope they're placeholder. It's a bit random. And originally I thought they were based off of like my mounts that I had, but no, I don't. I think they are just potentially placeholders right now. I'm not actually too sure on that one at all. But yeah, there's 2 store mounts and a N'Zoth mount, so yeah, kind of random. All right, so we have Vision of the Arbiter. So this is one of the bigger boys of Oribos, and this is actually the graveyard as well. Welcome, mortal. May you find your place in the purpose. What is this place? This is the touchstone for spirits that have become untethered. The Fate Scribe seems to ponder you for a moment. I sense the touch of great power upon you. Despite facing the end of your existence time and time again, this force has kept you anchored to the mortal plane. Perhaps devices like this one will keep you anchored to the Shadowlands. Should an ill fate befall you, the purpose will decide. The purpose is our way. Yeah, the purpose sounds a little bit suspect. Kind of like the Force in Star Wars or something? I'm not too sure on that one. That sounds pretty deep in the lore for something like, for someone like Novel or Pyromancer or Accolon or someone like that to kind of break down. But yeah, it seems a little bit suspicious, the old purpose there. But I'm sure we'll find out more as we delve deeper into the Shadowlands. So let's head back to the Emissary Room and see what is happening next with this questline. Alright, make yourself at home. You'll need to get to know these ancient facilities. Alright. So basically Bolvar here, I love this by the way, it's Bolvar telling the story of what happened with the cinematic with Sylvanas and everything like that. Because when you turn up to hand in this quest, it kind of gets the end of the conversation. He's like, yeah, well she sundered the helm, the sky above the citadel shattered, the spire of immense... Yeah, exactly right. He's talking about the Maw turning up and stuff. So I think that's kind of cool, just like filling them in on what happened with Sylvanas. It's kind of neat. So, understanding the Shadowlands. So it says, as I sat upon the frozen throne all those years, I could peer into the Shadowlands, brief glimpses, clouded and uncertain, sights both wondrous and terrible. We must work together to make sense of what's happened, to prevent the Maw from consuming all of reality. Whatever Sylvanas and the Jailer want, we must stop them. Perhaps Talanara can put us on the path to find answers. So it says, speak to Talanara. Can you help us find answers? Okay, so it says, tell me, how did the allies from your world become trapped in the Maw? And Bolvar says, Sylvanas Windrunner sent her agents to abduct them, dark winged beings who caught them in chains and dragged them through the shattered sky. Talanara says, the winged Kyrian of Bastion ferry souls to the mortal realm into the Shadowlands, but not with chains. They are noble and untainted by the Maw. And Cadalen says, true, but it seems this is our only clue our mortal friend has to follow. It falls to us to open the way for them. Agreed, take this mortal to the Ring of Transference, use the Anima Reserve to open a pathway to Bastion. He says, but honoured voice, we have such little Anima to spare. He says, see it done. With her voice, I have spoken. So this essentially is kind of the end of this story. Essentially, the Ring of Transference is just this area below, which will take you to Bastion, which is obviously where the questing starts. And, you know, the quest... It's kind of crazy, no spoilers. I mean, Noble, currently, if you do want to see, like, a full playthrough of the story of, like, Bastion, Maldraxxus, Ardenweald, Revendreth, Noble is doing some fantastic videos right now. He's doing full playthroughs. Definitely check those out. But yeah, this is essentially the quest that kind of takes you to Bastion. Basically what's happening is, you know, Bolvar said about these winged creatures that, like, abducted Thrall and Jaina and Anduin, and they're like, oh, they sound like Kyrian. So you have to go to Bastion and kind of find out what happened, and it just kind of goes from there, and you end up, you know, the whole story of the Shadowlands kind of unfolds with that. But yeah, so pretty darn cool. And as I said, the Ring of Transference is just a little area here where you open up the way to Bastion. So let's open that up. So it says, your path and the purpose are becoming one. So it says, path to Bastion. Within the Arbiter's chamber lie gateways to the infinite realms of the Shadowlands. As each soul was judged, a gateway would be cooled down and opened to the appropriate afterlife. But since the incident, the gateways have remained closed, dormant. We would not dare use the Arbiter's sacred chamber for such mundane purpose, but here in the upper rings of the city, there are gates that could be configured to your needs. Here, focus on the gate with me. Together, we can channel this anima and power it. So this area does have a few portals, as you can see. You've got Ardenweald, you've got Revendreth. They're really cool, and obviously using the each of their kind of anima colors. And we're just about to open a gateway to Bastion now. And I would imagine these ones will be opened, like, you know, when you do the questing or whatever. So because this character is level 59, so he has actually done all this stuff before. So yeah, he's basically saying, like, you know, you have to go to Bastion, find the Kyrian, discover what's going on. Like, it's kind of crazy. They're not really too sure what's going on. The Kyrian that did actually abduct Jaina and Thrall and stuff like that are like more sworn Kyrian, so they're kind of, I think they're aligned with Helia or something. It's real crazy. If you watch the intro scenario, you kind of get a little bit of a better idea about it. But yeah, that's that. So let's use the gateway here and open up the gateway to Bastion. There it is. Your path to the purpose opens further. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you get travel to Bastion, and then you begin the questline of Bastion, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave this video. I'm not going to go into Bastion or anything like that, because as I said, that has been in the alpha since pretty much the beginning of alpha. So yeah, I really enjoy this questline. For so long, I didn't know how the intro kind of merged into Bastion, and it really makes a lot more sense now, and I really do like that quite a bit. So guys, do let me know what you think of this questline. It is a kind of short one. It's just a little bit of Oribos and a little bit of Bolvar, a little bit of the Arbiter, a lot of story going on there, and I hope I did it justice. I really do. But if I didn't, guys, feel free to pause it and read whatever was written in the chat. There was a lot going on, and obviously this is all going to be voice acted once we go into release. And I can't wait. It's going to be so good. So, as I said, guys, do let me know what you think of this. And before I go, guys, let's give a massive shout out to my amazing patrons, YouTube channel members, and Twitch subs. You guys are awesome. If you don't support the channel in any of those ways, links are down below. So leave a like on this video, guys, if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. I've also got a partner Discord channel with over 3,000 members. And as I said, I am streaming over on twitch.tv/MrGM. That is actually where we discovered this questline for the first time. Super awesome, super exciting. And yeah, I'm glad I finally got it to a video. So, as I said, guys, I am streaming every single day over on twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.